is a haul of all the cool books I got from the library. So the plan was only to take out 3 books, and these are the 3. I haven't read The Mothers yet, and I'm quite shocked that it's taken me this long to finally read Bennet's book. But I had such a fabulous time reading Ferrante by Susanna Clarke. Got thinking that there's so many books from 2020. I think this was published in 2020 as well, that I heard great conversations around and read great reviews, and haven't read the books yet. So I thought, let me pick up The Vanishing Half, and I believe that it's probably stronger than The Mothers, but I'm still keen to read The Mothers. I kind of have high expectations, to be honest. And then Another Country by James Baldwin. I took this out on a whim. I was at the library and was like, why not? Bear in mind that I do find James Baldwin quite difficult to read, and I tend to take a super long time reading him. I think the only book that I flew through was Giovanni's Room, but I read Go Tell It on the Mountain. I started reading it in 2024, and only got to finishing it last year. And I had such a majestic experience reading that book when I was reading it on the way to work. One day I was on the bus reading, as one does on a long commute. I was listening to music. Nicholas Brittle's Eros started playing, and I had such a visceral reaction because it was a chapter that was so defining and so full of emotion and like tension and just bubbling with so much. And yeah, and I remember that experience, and I was like, let's go with this. And I did like flip through like a page, and I started reading there, and I really liked what I was reading. So I was like, yeah, let's go for a book that I'm guaranteed to have like a really great time. And my only concern right now is that this is a library copy, and sometimes there's a little bit of admin involved with like having to renew a book, because you can only renew a book 3 times online, and then the other times you have to physically go in to renew it. And I think this is, yeah, I think I already exceeded that, and then I had to physically go to the library, which I don't mind. I do love the library. We love the library here. I wouldn't mind a copy of my own. I started thinking that I want to expand my literary knowledge and get into reading a lot of nonfiction and critical studies, criticism, nonfiction basically. And I took this out. I did also like flip to a page where they were writing about Go Tell It on the Mountain, and it was also during like, or after I'd read Go Tell It on the Mountain. So I had like such a strong connection to what was being written. I don't remember what it was, because I only took this out this year, but I'd seen it at the library last year, and just read a little. And yeah, I'm really excited to read this. Also, I like this hardback. I'm typically not like the biggest fan of hardbacks. I think I was disappointed by one. It was the Goldfinch, I'm not gonna lie. It was the Goldfinch, and I did spend quite a lot on that book. I'm yet to finish it as well, and I just don't like how it physically feels. But this was also after Piranesi, just realized that I do like a hardback, because especially like a small one. So this is the ideal size for it. Piranesi was also like the ideal size, and yeah, keen to read this and what it has to offer. I think I'm gonna read it after Another Country, and then I'm gonna read Another Country alongside Kwaito by Esinako, Ndabeni and Sihle Mthembu. This is Reflections on the Kwaito Generation, and basically a collection of essays tackles the changing meaning of the genre after its decline and its ever contested relevance. And yeah, also just I like a book with some pictures. And there's some pictures here. So yeah, also non-fiction. It was at the time when I went to the library, because I had intentions of reading this, I think in April, May. It wasn't there, and I think someone had just like taken it out just to read in the library, and then the librarians and I couldn't find it, but we could see that it's like in here. And then the other one I couldn't really loan out since it's only to be used in the library, but now I loaned it out. Then I'm gonna read The Days of Abandonment by Elena Ferrante. I passed her section, I was like, why not? I'm not too convinced. I'm not sure if I'll get to this. I was also just like, it alerted me because it's not that long, and she gets to the point pretty quickly. Like, I do like that. Also, just beautiful cover. I really like this blue. This is my first William Faulkner. I was on Reddit the other day. I'd searched what's the best William Faulkner, because I think Toni Morrison wrote a thesis on him and Virginia Woolf, and I've just been really curious because apparently there's a connection there and some influences happening, and apparently this is not similar, but someone compared it to the Song of Solomon by Toni Morrison, and they were like, Absalom, Absalom. So keen to read this. Also like this hardback because it's small, and I'm quite intimidated. I'm not gonna lie, I'm quite intimidated, but we'll see how it goes. It's just a book. I also just really like this cover. I like everything about it, to be honest. So it was published in Great Britain 1937. I think it's gonna be like the oldest book I read this year. Oldest published, I mean. I'm quite intimidated, but we'll give it a try because why not? And yeah, so those are all the books, and bye.